I think today it's officially the day to take down my Bring On the Winter.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines.
Top of the morning to you all on this St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green and I am trying to fully wake up. Because spring is coming, I put some pink, I think they're pink, maybe yellow in here, tulip bulbs. I had it outside most of the winter and the squirrels dug in them. So I brought it inside and these have appeared through the surface. There. Looks gorgeous on the camera, that pink tone. Let me tell you her name. She is Sophrolalia Cattleya, Hind Boo Lady. So I ventured out to my backyard because I do live in the Pacific Northwest, and I thought I'm gonna harvest me some moss off these limbs that have fallen through the winter time and save it in my grow room with some moisture and some shade, and hopefully have fresh moss to put on my mounts. Now, you know I have a few of my orchids on mounts, and I'm just pulling this off of the tree limb that's already on the floor. And of course I'm looking for snails because I don't want any, but I will take it in the house, put it in my salad spinner. Who knew you can get so much use out of a salad spinner? Wash it, and then I am gonna go out to my secondhand shop and look for a container that I can just keep it cool, and hopefully it'll keep kind of growing as far into the summer as I can get it to grow. I purchased online a big old bag. We're talking like a big pillow-sized bag of dried sphagnum moss. And it is miserable. I have gotten good sphagnum moss off the internet, but this one I got from Amazon, and it's had tons of twigs and pokey things, and you get it wet and you have to squeeze it out, and you'd always get a splinter or a prickly. I hate it. You can hear her chomping in the back. She's like a reindeer, getting in there, breaking all the twigs into smaller pieces. She's in her element. She loves it when I come out in the backyard. In the winter, I don't come out that often. Except for to clean up dog poop. And we have neighbors, and they have dogs, and they hear Miss Bella. Then I have a log pile right over there that I need to collect and put in the back of the trailer so we can take to the city dump. I am just slow going. It's the first day of spring for me, really. This one has snail eggs. I think I'll leave it out here. Just a little too fresh for me. We had a lot of dead trees, and last year we had a big maple cut down. It came with us when we moved here 7 years ago, and it was rotted right through but it was becoming more and more dangerous. So we took it down last year, which leaves us with tons of rounds of maple wood behind us. Perfect, I don't know if you can see that, perfect fort if you were a kid or if I had grandkids. Perfect fort. Dad's covered it up with a little bit of planking of some sort of tin planking and tarped over it just so it didn't get soggier as they lay on their sides. But our life has been in a little bit of a transition here. A lot of dreams, a lot of hopes, a lot of setbacks, you know, typical life stuff. But I thought I'd put together a video to just kind of fill y'all in life, because I do a lot of orchid videos and I love doing them. But as you know, I've stated before, the heart of my being is about community, connecting with you. And I love when you share your stories, when you tell me what some of your favorite flowers are, because then when I'm out shopping, I think of you. I may not know your voice, I may not know your face, but I know your name when you type it up in a comment, and I think of you. So I'm still working on this piece of wood while we talk here. But our life has been it's been full. It's been full. My husband just recently had to have a pretty major surgery. It's a setback for about 6 months of his life here, which has stopped him, which is very hard to stop an A-type driven person from doing all the things he loves to do. He is a constant in motion kind of guy. Fix this, fix that, plan this, prepare that. You know, it's 2 seasons ahead, and right now he would mentally be thinking about renting the machine from Home Depot to bring in and wedge those circle rounds into firewood chunks so he could later stack it into our firewood shed. This is what he thinks about all summer, getting ready for winter. I love him. He is very prepared for different things, but his surgery is it was his rotator cuff and muscle repair, and there ain't no lifting, there ain't no reaching, there ain't no grabbing, there ain't no pulling for months. We're talking 6 to 9 months before he might feel normal again. So I gotta step up my game as best I can with chronic illness. He obviously doesn't expect me to cut the firewood. Wouldn't happen in a chance in hell. So we do have a couple rounds of maple wood. That's what I'm referencing when I say, yeah, it's got to get turned into firewood. Someday. Not today. Not for the next 6 months. Maybe not for the next year. So we are faring well. My husband is recovering from that surgery, and that put a lot of stress on me because he takes care of me. That's just plain and simple. I have the energy of a, you know, this much, and he's like abundantly full of energy. So I was stressed going into this operation that I was not going to be able to care for him as much as he deserved. And it all worked out. I did get stressed. I did get burnt out, and my body did crash. And when you don't have fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, that may sound funny. What does that mean when you say your body crashes? And for my orchid-loving friends, I'll educate you. It's that your body has hit its wall. It can't produce any more endorphins to keep you up on a high. It can't get all the cortisol information correctly in that loop to help the fight or flight. You just can't do it anymore, and you just collapse. And for me, inflammation swells up, and for me, I have some trigger points in my body, primarily my left side, which is my hemiplegic side for my migraines. is my weakest side, and every time I am set back with a hemiplegic migraine, it takes months to get me back to the strong place again. But my bursa, that's the little fluid-filled sac in between the shoulder joints, has been inflamed for 2 or 3 years. It goes down, it gets up. I get cortisone shots every 6 to 9 months, and physical therapy, and we cope, and we get along. But it had started progressing to where both shoulders and both hips were now inflamed, and I was at a level 9, just couldn't take the pain anymore, and my rheumatologist was able to get me in. And she took one look at me and said, honey, let's just go from head to toe. You need to start a round of prednisone and try to reset your body back into the place where it can heal itself, calm itself, give it what it needs. A really big shot in the arm, and then I'm on a 3-week tapered course of medicines. And I did get some energy back. The pain, unfortunately, didn't completely go away. It's enough pain to remind me to watch myself and not go too fast, and that's a good thing. Just like a boiling pot of crazy. But I feel well today. I feel good because I'm outdoors, and it's spring, and I'm in the dirt. I've already sat in it, I've touched it, I've crinkled some old leaves, and that just revives this old soul of mine. For the last 2 summers, my fibromyalgia has been so under control and in pain that I haven't been able to help with any of the yard work with. So I'm really hoping this year, now that we're on a new medicine through my rheumatologist, I think I'll be able to get some more help done. And because my husband needs me, I'm going to try real hard to do what I can to do my part. I have my deck over there. It needs to be swept off. And I need to begin thinking what of my garden seeds are going to go where. I do have my seedling trays that are doing well. Some of them shot up way too fast, way too soon, and I didn't know that you could take that overly stretched out tomato and put it just deeper in another container and pack it a little bit further, and it will continue to grow. I didn't know that. I learned that from watching the different homesteader YouTube videos out there. There's a gal named Jill, and she was teaching me that. So I'm like, learn something new every day. So I restarted more tomatoes, but I have a variety of tomatoes that are growing successfully. Some of my flowers did well, and some I replanted them twice and they just never germinated, and they were new seeds for this year, and they were light sensitive, so they were right on top of the soil. I don't know about that one, so I figured if you tried it twice and it failed, it's probably the seeds, not the grower, right? Right. Comment down below and let me know what your seedlings are looking like. What are you growing? I grow just for the sake of saying I tried it and something produced life after I tried it. I really, every year, just go to the garden center, buy the pre-potted, you know, ready to go tomatoes, ready to go broccoli or whatever, and I try it in my yard. And I have high hopes, but come midsummer, when I am hurting from doing so much, much of it just goes to waste. It goes to seed. Around the front of my porch, I have 2 blueberry bushes, and we acquired a 3rd one this year because we enjoyed them. So 3 blueberry bushes, 2 thornless raspberry bushes, and then I usually will have 2 types of tomatoes growing, the little kind of pop-off kind, and a full tomato that's a bigger tomato. I usually have those out front here, and now that we cut that big tree down, I'm hoping that I might get a little more fruit off of the vines. And then I just have lots of container pots where I put lettuce, kale, carrots, peas. And it's not to feed us, it's just more or less for me to have something to do. Not like I'm going to sustain anybody off the small amount that I produce. For me, it's therapy. I get my hands in there. I get my thoughts drifting far away, and it takes my mind off of different things going on. I wanted to give you an update that the heart monitor that I was asked to wear did come up with some electrical impulses that were firing in between the beats, and I was sent off to a cardiologist, and the cardiologist was very, you know how you have some doctors that have a great bedside manner, and then you have some doctors that know their stuff and they just want to tell it to you? He was kind of a cross between the two. He came across like, here's the facts, boom, 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 and then he backtracked and tried to be the bedside patient, good doctor. Anyway, bottom line, there's nothing wrong with me. I am not an AFib according to the 5 days that I wore it, the monitor. Airplanes flying over. I'm not in AFib. My heart is just sending out electrical beats and going into tachycardia every once in a while. And he said from a surgical standpoint, as a surgeon, there isn't anything they do for that. So in theory, he was trying to calm me and reassure me that there isn't really anything that needs to be done. I walked away assured that I don't really need to spend the money to do more tests. Another catching up on life I wanted to share with you was that it has been a whole year. My sister lives in my town, but across the town over by my mama, and COVID hit. Because of COVID, and you know, my husband and I holed away and stayed in our own little personal space. He had to go back and forth to work as an essential worker, and I was an essential stay-at-homer. And she had her small circle that she interacted with, but I wasn't comfortable crossing those all those germs until I can get a shot. And I haven't got a shot yet, but it was a spring day and I missed her so much. And so we did a social distance yesterday visit, and she took me to a restaurant and gave me lunch, and it was just so good. It's hard to be away from people for so long, and it's hard to be away from family. And many times we had tried to do a social distance get together, but my damn migraines would literally interfere. February was my shortest month of migraines. I only had nine. I don't know what I did. The stars aligned, the moon shined down, and I got a new medicine from the neurologist to abort the migraines, and I think that's the big helper. But many times we had to cancel, and wouldn't you know it, yesterday she was supposed to be here at 11 and I was running late, and I took my prednisone tablets and I took my daily tablets that I take, and I had a cup of coffee waiting for her, and my stomach went completely down. I was nauseous and sick, and that triggers a migraine. So I felt the pain coming. I took the nausea pill and the migraine pill, drank a lot of water, had some toast, and texted her and said, a migraine is starting, but please come over anyway, even if, just for a hug. So anyway, she was running behind schedule, and it took her 30 minutes to get here, and it takes about 20 minutes for my pills to work, and I was feeling great. So I was able to get up. We went out and had lunch together, wore our mask. Then we did what sisters love to do. We went to the secondhand shop and looked for things that we did not need, She was looking for things for her granddaughters, and I was looking for a pair of jeans. I'm always on the quest for a good pair of jeans, because you know what? I can never find a good pair of jeans at the store. they smell like formaldehyde, and I'm allergic to formaldehyde. They have to be washed like 90 times before the smell goes away, and then they don't fit well. So I would prefer to buy a secondhand pair of jeans that's already been broken in, already been washed in, and if they fit and I feel good in them, it's a win-win for me. My husband's like, we need to get you out to some higher end dollar stores. I'm like, yeah. But in the meantime, I love me some secondhand jeans. Is there anyone else out there that loves their secondhand jeans? Comment below in the comment section. But had a great visit with my sister. Laughed in the aisles. She'd pick up something and she said it was going to be pajamas. And I'm like, honey, if your husband sees you in those things, nah, you ain't getting nothing with that. Put them back, you know. And she's like, they're just meant to be comfy pajama bottoms when I'm having coffee. I'm like, no, don't bring them in the house. Don't bring them in the bedroom. You know, as a sister to a sister, you have to say these things like, those are ugly. And there is nothing that screams love and romance when you're wearing them things. So anyway, we laughed about that in the store. Other people were laughing at us because we were acting like two sisters in a store. And it was good to be together again. And I'll have to show you her secret addiction. I mean, her secret addition to what she brought to my life to enhance my life. She is into teas, and boy, when I say she's into teas, the girl's packing heat, if you know what I mean. So I'll take you in the kitchen and I'll show you all the teas. She had like 30 of them lined up. And I had my tea kettle going, and I had little shot glasses, and we made miniature little teas so we can sample them all. And about 6 cups of these little teas in, my heart was going fast. I'm like, I hit my wall. I'm getting old. I can't do that much caffeine at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And I had a blast, had fun, got to visit, got to laugh, and renewed my soul. And I wish that for you, that you have a moment this week where you can laugh, where you can smell the trees, hear the birds, run your toes in the grass, pull some weeds, do those soul refreshing things that make you happy. But let's go inside. I'll show you those teas and we'll talk some more. So we're steeping right now the blackberry mojito tea, and this one is a strawberry and cream rose black tea. Oh, it's delicious. My husband and I fell in love with Italian wedding cake black tea. Oh, and a chocolate rosemary caramel herbal tea. Can't wait to try that one. I've always been a coffee girl, and I'm just learning a little bit about teas, and I fell in love with English breakfast teas, and my daughter gave me a whole bunch for my birthday. I am set for teas for like the next 10 years. Let me pour us some of this mojito blackberry tea. I know you can't have it with me, but I'll pour it as if you are here. I like having a day thinking of my friends, thinking of my family. Cheers! And let's taste. That's glorious. Blackberry with a mojito. If it's 5 o'clock somewhere, I'm sure we can put a little bit of lime and some rum in that. Yeah, that'd work too. That is very good. It is a herbal tea, I think. I can't remember. After yesterday, I was buzzing from everything. But here, let's have some tea together. Ching! Wish you could be here with me, friends. That we have our tea. I need a little bit more. You're a little slow on drinking yours, so you might want to work on that, or I might have to start working on it. But I had some things to do today. I wrote my list, things to do. I needed to harvest that moss. You saw we did that. Now I just get to go through and inspect it. Oh, look at that piece. Nice. It's gonna sound funny, but it smells so earthy. That's a good smell to me, earth. And it's soft. And it's my favorite color, green. Okay, it's obvious. I like sensory touch. Let's put it in the bowl. I think we have a good harvest. I need to water my orchids, yes. I didn't do that yesterday because I was too busy playing. But I do need to go up and water orchids today and then put the new moss onto those mounts. I need to pull weeds in the front garden. I'm thinking at this pace it isn't gonna happen today, but maybe tomorrow. Make some YouTube videos. That's what we're doing, so we're on task. Have coffee and tea and dance to the music. Yep, I think I can do that. Rest, that's on my list. And of course, the bottom, remember to find some joy and remember to find something beautiful. And I found joy in a lot of things already this morning. This beautiful bloom that's opened up. Having tea with friends that I don't know but are all over the globe. That is why I have my traveling suitcases with me. I don't think I'll ever be a world traveler, but my heart would love to know and meet people that I've met all over the world. But I love these little suitcases. They remind me of adventures. And they open up, you can put things in it. So maybe I'll stash my teas in there. Who knows? I am thankful that I have had one full year on YouTube with you guys. I am thankful that I've learned how to grow orchids a little bit better this year. I am thankful for the small fellowship groups. I've met some local ladies in my fibromyalgia and chronic pain forums. They're the Facebook forum groups. And before COVID, we could meet in person and do things, but the funny thing with chronic illness is you're all feeling chronic at different times. So there wasn't that many gatherings that I was able to be a part of when I was having 20 days of migraines a month. But online, we Zoom together. Is that what it's called? Zoom, or we go into Discord and we play some Yahtzee together, or Farkle, or some card games, or we just all sit and talk. And in this hard time that we are in, if you have a niche that you find yourself gravitating into, a chronic illness group, maybe you have a specialty, MS group, maybe you have just an orchid group that you love, but you have a small enough community that you can talk back and forth and laugh and talk flowers or talk medicines, but also just let your hair down and talk about the hard stuff, the stuff that's frustrating, and just laugh and giggle, even though you might all be in your own bedrooms because you can't walk or the pain is too bad that day. But it's good to know you have others around you that are in positions similar to yours, and you can encourage one another. And I am thankful to live in this digital age where you can be all around the world and still be in your bedroom and still make friendships and connections, and you can still be a part of other people's lives. So for those of you in our small group here, in my little town that I don't see in person but I see online. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for their game times. You really do encourage me, and I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from you ladies that struggle far deeper, far wider, far more in depth in the pains and the struggles that you're going through. I feel like mine are a piece of cake, but that you get up every morning, you take care of your children, you take care of your families, and you organize these groups and you keep fighting. And I thank you for that. I encourage you. I say, keep fighting, girls. Keep fighting, guys. Don't give up. I know there's days where you just feel like, okay, I've had enough. But there's a legacy you leave behind. A legacy of hope, a legacy of beauty. Even in the pain, our children will see the beauty. They will. They just don't always recognize it right in the moment. But don't give up hope. And with that, I will wind up my catching up with you. We'll call it, what do we call this Wednesday? It's not a chit chat Sunday. How about an everything Wednesday? It was everything rolled into one. A little bit of gardening, a little bit of orchids, a little bit of life, a little bit of tea, a little bit of catching up on you and me. Please comment down below about your life, what you're going through, what you're dealing with. There's an email address you'll find on my homepage. If you want to talk with me and not have the whole world read your comments down below, you are more than welcome to send me an email at the, I think it's michelleslifeonrepeat@gmail.com, and I will do what I can when I do. I will enjoy talking with you and getting to know you more. I appreciate your time. I don't want this video to end. I'm having so much fun. I'm having a lot of fun talking with you. In my mind, you're just right there, and you still haven't drank your tea, but you're just right there. I send love, I send blessings until we talk again. Bye-bye.